Testing, testing. Can I hear this? Testing, testing. Can I hear? All right, so the my audio is live on Twitch. Now I'm gonna unmute you real quick. All right. Can you say something, please?
Testing,
All right.
testing, one, two,
Can
three,
you say
four.
something,
This is
please?
BretTheBreton. Hello. Testing,
All right.
testing, one, two, three,
Can you say
four.
something,
This is
please?
BretTheBreton.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, that was just me. That was me being funky. I do a quick little audio test at the end of the splash screen, so that's what you just heard. But I just muted everything on Twitch end. We're still live on OBS end, so at this point the stream can hear us, but we won't have that echo anymore.
Okay.
All right. So I'm moving from the splash screen to the game screen. And for those of you who may happen upon the stream, we're doing tech test for a collab we're starting soon. We're about to run a quick rehearsal of the first little bit of the game. So here's the game. It's an old DOS game from '93 called Eagle Eye Mysteries in London. And actually, if I remember correctly, the tutorial the tutorial mystery is about an Egyptian cat, if I remember correctly. So this is very much a you topic, Bret, for the to start us off.
Okay.
And it introduces a recurring, unknown, mysterious character named McCavity, who is sometimes involved in animal-related mysteries. McCavity is involved in about probably somewhere between 6 and 12 of the overall 51 mysteries in the game. So McCavity is a recurring character, but we don't find out till like the last mystery who McCavity actually is. So, alright, so we are now in the game screen. We will come past the splash screen as if we were playing the game for real. And the browser just ate my cursor so we can start playing. And so
All
we'll
right.
go into.
Uncle Evie.
Yes. Actually, I'm going to create a new dummy account here. So I'm going to call this test game. It means nothing, but whatever. Because I don't want to play the tutorial mission on the live game, because I think once you get the regular casebook, I think you lose access to the tutorial mission. You can replay cases in the casebook, but not the tutorial mission, if I remember correctly. So after we complete the tutorial, it'll give us access to the first 25 cases. When we complete those, we'll get access to the back half of the other 25 cases for 51 total. I think 3 per stream is a good amount. If I remember correctly, it's about a half hour to 40 minutes per case
Yeah.
if we read
We, we
efficiently.
when we actually do the stream, we probably don't need all the background info like that. We can just launch straight into it.
Yeah, maybe on the first stream when we have to introduce the game, but we'll give a little background. I haven't rehearsed that part yet. So I will actually select Jake because we're both guys, but like I said,
Mm-hmm.
both these characters do appear. I probably won't differentiate voices on them when I read for them because I don't do voices.
Yeah, male characters tend to be better for me. Women are very hard to do.
There's a few women, but alright. So, welcome to London, Test. You're just in time. Jennifer is on her way here with a special assignment from Scotland Yard. When you're through reading this, click your left mouse button to go on. The tutorial gets meta because it's teaching you how to play. After this,
Yeah.
we won't see notes about click your left mouse button, click your right
You're
mouse
right, right,
button.
right. Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
As soon as Jennifer gets here, we'll go over to the top secret new crime busting info that we'll use to get things done here in London. In the meantime, let me fill you in on the latest and show you around. I'm Jake Eagle, of course, and this is the garret upstairs in the house my Aunt Miranda and Uncle Basil own in London. My sister Jennifer and I are hanging out with them all summer. We planned to.
The English pronunciation of basil might be basil or
Yeah,
basil.
maybe, but remember, this is an American character, so. Then again, if he is the uncle, then they would know the proper pronunciation because they would have known him
Um,
for a while.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We
Uh,
planned to take a vacation from all the work we do back in Richview at our Eagle Eye Detective Agency, but it looks like mysteries just seem to pop up wherever we go. Luckily, Jennifer packed the Travis in her suitcase just in case. The text
So like a
retrieval
terrorist.
and visual imaging system is our own electronic detective's notebook. Jennifer's even added a couple of cool new features to it, too. Text retrieval and visual imaging system.
Yeah, TARDIS. It's a TARDIS.
Ta-
She has a TARDIS.
DOS games are all about cool acronyms.
She's added a cool new feature to it. It'll play MP3s.
Here's how it works. When we're on a case, I'll enter all the clues we uncover into the Travis. When you want to check our notes, just click on the Travis in my hand. The Travis will display all our notes for you to check over. That way, when you're finished investigating, you can use the clues to figure out who done it. If you need help figuring out how the Travis works, just hit the button marked with a question mark and you'll get an explanation of its features. I've just put some notes in there to help us get around. We'll catch up with Jennifer back here later. Let's go downstairs to the kitchen and I'll introduce you to Aunt Em and Uncle Bays. Whenever we go anywhere, we always start by checking out the map of London. You can tell which place we should head to first because that spot will be marked with a flashing red diamond. Just click on that diamond and we're on our way. And the game did come with a poster that was on our wall for years. I showed you that a little while ago.
Yeah.
So we're going to start by going to the Eagle's house. And you're going to meet your first couple English characters that you're going to read for.
All right.
This is my Aunt Miranda and my Uncle Basil. If you'd like to talk to them, click inside the glowing boxes that surround them and they'll introduce themselves. When you're through talking to them, click on the box over the door to your left. Then we can head back up to the garret and see if Jennifer's back. Which character do you want to do first, or does it not matter?
Go to Basil. Go to Basil first. Hello, Test. Thrilled to make your acquaintance. I'm Jake's Uncle Basil. I must say, it's quite a relief to see that you're here to help out. We just seem to be surrounded by puzzles and mysteries here in London. As an author of mystery stories and other novels, I seem to come into contact with all sorts of strange problems. There are some terrific advantages to being a rather well-known author, if I do say so myself. One of those is that I've become quite chummy with Mr. Sneed, the head librarian at the British Museum's famous British Library. Not many people get access to those special libraries and all the facts and information therein, but you will. Whenever you want to research anything at the library, just click on... actually, he would pronounce it research. Whenever you want to go research anything at the library, just click on the British Museum button on the map of London.
Okay, and just a note about Mr. Sneed, he does show up later in this case, so you will get to rehearse for him as well. He's kind of grumpy.
Ah, okay.
Alright, we're going to do Aunt Miranda now.
Tess, so very pleased to meet you. Let's see, what can I tell you about myself? I'm Jake and Jennifer's Aunt Miranda. I work as an investigative reporter for the Times here in London, so I often get hot news tips that Jake and Jennifer can help me research. More often than not, there's a mystery to be solved. In fact, I just got a call from my friend down at Scotland Yard, Inspector Gage. He's got just such a case. I'm not sure of the details, but it has something to do with the theft of a priceless Egyptian statue from the British Museum. Scotland Yard is London's official police headquarters. You and Jake can meet up with Inspector Gage there. He'll fill you in on the...
Yeah.
He'll fill you in on the details.
There we go.
Alright, and Inspector Gage is another recurring character. I think he's in about half the cases. Whenever you see your mouse cursor turn into a picture of me on the go, like this one has, it means that this way leads to another room or place. This way takes us back up to the garret. Let's go see if Jennifer's back. There's Jennifer now. She's my twin sister and about the coolest girl I've ever met. If you run your cursor over the glowing box around the note next to her, you'll see it turn into a magnifying glass. Whenever you see the cursor turn into a magnifying glass like that, it means there's something there you can examine, like that note. When you're ready to leave here, test, click on my feet to go back to the kitchen, then click on my feet again to get back to the map. This is the special assignment I was telling you about, Jake. Inspector Gage said this note was left at his office, addressed to the Eagle Eye Detective Agency. Someone must have heard about us from our newspaper clippings in Richview. From what I could gather from Inspector Gage, last weekend someone stole a priceless ancient Egyptian statue of the cat goddess Bastet from the British Museum. Scotland Yard had no leads at all until this note arrived there this morning. It's our only clue. The note reads, "Little cat statue came from the Nile, stayed at the British Museum a while. McCavity came to take it away and drop it at Covent Garden one day." All the little kitties lined up in a row, fake ones and real one all ready to go. McCavity watched to see what was done. The head eater of beef, he claimed the true one.
The beef eaters. That's the Queen's Guards, I think.
Yeah, the beef eaters. And he's another recurring character.
Good, okay.
Only the cleverest of Eagle Eyes will find my special feline prize. If you find the answer to my poser, you'll get Kitty back, or else it's no, sir. Poser? What's that? One of those British slang words? Luckily, Jennifer and I put together a little British-American dictionary in the back of the Eagle Eye Handbook. Grab it and see if you can find out what a poser is.
That's something you have to think about like a puzzle.
Yeah, that's right. Poser is the British term for riddle. Anytime you come across a strange British word that you don't understand, just grab your handbook and look it up. Right, mate? Well, guess what? We don't actually have the handbook. That's what I told you about with all the train platforms and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't think British words are that difficult for us to figure out. So
I'm pretty familiar with most of it. So.
I know that one, Jen. Mate is what British people call their buddies. I can't wait to get back to the States to try these new words out on my mates. Well, this
Pisser
poser...
should have been one.
What?
I said pisser should have been one, because that's when you get very, very drunk.
Well, yeah, I don't think that happens in this game. This game was targeted for kids.
Well, they also probably don't ask each other for cigarettes, because that's a whole different word.
Well, this poser's got me stumped. Remember, if you're stumped when you're trying to solve a mystery, just click on your partner's face while you're in the Travis computer notebook, and you'll get a hint. For now, my hint is to head to Scotland Yard. Sure thing, Jennifer. I've typed some of this poem into the Travis so we can check it again if we need to. When you're ready to test, just click on the Travis to see the notes. When you finish reading, click on the Travis again to get back here, or click on the Travis map button to get to the map. Oh, we still have a bit of talking to do. Tess, great to see you. I've got to fill you in on the latest in Eagle Eye operations. Here's the scoop, and don't worry if you don't catch it the first time. Jake will type it into the Travis for you so you can check it out anytime you want. First off, our map of London has some neat extras. When you can go to a new site on the map, a glowing diamond will appear over that spot. When you click on the area near that diamond, you'll zoom into a closer view of the map and the site marker will be there for you to click on. When you've examined everything at a site and there's nothing more to check out, that diamond will stop glowing. You can still go back there and review what you've seen if you'd like, though. But keep an eye on those diamonds. Sometimes, as the mysteries get tougher, new evidence comes up at an old site, and a diamond might start glowing again. That's your cue to go back to that site and see what new stuff is happening there. Here in England, lots of places have bunches of different rooms in them, like the garret here at Aunt Miranda and Uncle Basil's place. Remember to check out those rooms really carefully so you don't miss any clues. To solve a mystery, you'll still need to read all the clues in your Travis and figure out which clues really prove which suspect is most likely to be guilty. You can always pick up to 5 clues to solve a mystery, but if you think you can prove your case in fewer than that, select the 2 to 4 clues you think will do it, then hit the solve button again. If those clues solve the case by themselves, you'll get to pick your suspect right away. Don't be hasty, though. A good eagle eye detective always reads all the case notes and chooses clues carefully. Sometimes you'll need to solve puzzles, too, or read your map to get the right compass directions. Jake and I have packed all the stuff you'll need into your Eagle Eye handbook, so make sure you hang on to it and your maps. That should get you around town okay. Good luck, Test. So what I'm going to do after stream, I'm going to go back to that eBay page, and I'm going to screen capture that photo of the map, so at least we'll have that to help us out if we need it.
Yeah, and I'll look and see if I can find something as well.
And meanwhile, I'll keep the search going for the instruction book. Hopefully something will turn up.
We can both do that. I did have a question. When are you actually wanting to do the stream on this?
I would like to do the first episode as soon as possible.
Okay, because tomorrow I'm supposed to stream with Alan. We've kind of already got it set up.
Yeah.
So maybe next Friday.
Well, I'm not home Wednesday to Sunday.
Oh.
It's baby's birthday week.
Okay, when would you? I mean, when were you looking at doing this?
Hopefully within the next couple weeks, because once we do, because doing the first episode is a prerequisite towards getting the series actually rolling with episodes 2 through 17.
Yeah. The reason I say that is because this weekend I'm pretty much spoken for, but I just finished up Indy Jones, so I don't really have anything going on Fridays. We could maybe hit it on a Friday, possibly.
Yeah. Just remember, on Fridays we would have a slightly later start because I got Temple on Fridays. But this week, that's irrelevant because I won't even be home on Friday.
Not for next week, but
yeah. We can work out the scheduling later.
On that part of it. Yeah, that's totally fine.
You got to meet the other recurring characters so that you can.
Yeah. Let's continue. Yeah.
And all right, we're clicking on feet right to exit back to the map. So the only place we can go to right now is the Scotland Yard.
Oh, it's a double-decker bus, I'd say.
That's Inspector Gage. Just click inside the glowing box to talk to him. Whenever your mouse cursor turns into a speech balloon like that, it means that person is someone we can interview or talk to. When you're ready to leave here, click on my feet to go back to the map, or click on the Travis to solve the mystery. Remember, this is one of the recurring characters, so you'll have to get used to this guy. He's a police detective, and that's basically all you need to know about him. He's the main representation of the police in this game. I don't think there's any other police characters you really come across. Maybe some one-offs. There might be some one-offs in a few of the cases.
All right.
Hello there, Jake. This must be Test. Miranda just rang up and told me all about you. We can certainly use your help today. I'm afraid that rascal McCavity's up to his or her old tricks again.
Just who is McCavity, Inspector Gage?
If only we knew. I'm afraid that's just it, Jake. No one knows who he or she is. Every time we think we're close to catching the fiend, he or she simply isn't there. So far, the pranks are annoying, but mostly harmless. For example, last year on April Fool's Day, McCavity somehow introduced a computer virus into the police databanks. The machines were spouting that ridiculous poem for 3 days.
Which poem are you talking about, Inspector?
It's from T.S. Eliot's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. You know, the one that inspired that popular musical Cats. I bet you could find a copy of it around at the British Library. It seems that McCavity's latest trick was stealing the statue of the Egyptian goddess Bastet from the British Museum. The note I gave to Jennifer suggests that the statue was placed amongst a group of souvenirs at Covent Garden yesterday.
They were supposed to be simple copies of the Bastet statue, worthless souvenirs, really. But according to this note, McCavity somehow replicated one of the fakes with a replicated? Replaced one of the fakes with a genuine ancient Egyptian statue. Now, some innocent shopper has a priceless Egyptian artifact gathering dust on his or her mantelpiece. We must find the person who purchased the statue and return Bastet to the British Museum.
And now we'll look at the evidence. Inspector Gage's file on the case lists the possible owners of the priceless original statue. According to Covent Garden sales records, only 3 people purchased statues of Bastet at the market yesterday. The
That narrows it.
The buyers were Mr. Hargreaves of the Tower of London. He's a recurring character, so you'll need to know about him. Miss Maudie from Warwick Castle. She's in a few cases. She's not as common as some of the other characters, but she's in a few. And Nigel Eagle of South Kensington. Nigel's important. He's their cousin. He's in almost every mystery.
I've already got a voice for Nigel. I already know who I'm going to do just based on the name. All right.
Okay. Nigel Eagle. That's my cousin. He's supposed to be at Covent Garden today with his friend Gay. So if we go back to the map, a bunch of places opened up for us to look at. Where do you want to go
How
first?
do you pronounce Covent? Is it Covent or Covent or Covent? Or how do you pronounce that?
I've heard it pronounced both ways. I guess it depends.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've always seen it printed, but I've never heard anybody say it. So I think it's Covent, but I'm not sure. Anyway,
Okay. Victoria Station. We might be getting to this train platform business early. Well, may as well get it over with if we have to figure out how we're going to brute force numbers. From Victoria Station, we can take the train to all kinds of places in England. You can tell where we can go today by checking the schedule board. Look, Warwick is highlighted. Click on that name on the schedule and we're on our way. On our way over, I'll show you the latest feature that Jennifer's added to Travis, the video travel guide. Just click the down button for more information or done to go on. Do we want to take the time to read these blurbs during the cases? It might detract from
we
from the
can.
flow.
I can blaze through them with an announcer voice if you want.
Let's do it that way.
All right. Warwick Castle in Warwickshire is one of the finest examples of medieval castles in Britain. The castle, now owned by Madame Tussauds, was first built in 1068 by William the Conqueror. Many great earls of Warwick ruled this castle, including I can't see that Richard Neville. Okay, it's a different page. Who was known as the Kingmaker for his part in the War of the Roses. Complete with grim dungeons and majestic battlements, Warwick Castle looks over the river Avon and acres of gardens where the cry of peacocks can be heard.
All right, that's the end of that read. So,
Yep.
Warwick
I'll
Castle.
give it more of a DJ type voice when we actually do this.
What?
I was just saying I'll give it more of a DJ type voice, like a announcer voice when we do it.
Warwick Castle is just one of the excellent places we'll get to visit during our stay in London. Check out those towers. When you're done investigating here, click on my feet to go back to Victoria Station or click on the Travis to solve the mystery. So, side note, the train platform doesn't always make you do a number, but sometimes it does. I guess because it's a tutorial, it skipped that step this time. We lucked out.
Yeah.
Alright, this is Miss Maudie. She's a recurring character, but not in a terribly huge number of cases. She's kind of a tour guide type person, I think. I don't remember exactly. Just make it up.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Let's see.
Yes, I did purchase a statue at Covent Garden while I was visiting my sister in London yesterday. Working here at Warwick Castle as a tour guide, I get rather tired of looking at armor and swords and tapestries all day, so I try to decorate my home with sweet little knickknacks.
So I remembered correctly, she is the tour guide for Warwick. So anytime we go to Warwick, we're going to run into her.
Okay.
This statue's a lovely little cat in the old Egyptian style. I'm terribly fond of animals, you see. In fact, I'm a vegetarian.
A vegetarian. So you don't eat beef?
She's not a beef eater.
Heavens no, I don't eat meat of any kind.
Alright, that's all we can do at Warwick. Seems like an awful waste of a train ride just to get that little bit.
Kinda, yeah.
But
Yeah. I want to get to Nigel.
let's see. We have several other places to check out. There's one all the way over here at the Tower of London. This is the Mr. Hargreaves guy.
Oh, and there's Covent Garden, too. The Tower of London was originally built by William the Conqueror, in 1066. It served as the site of the Royal Menagerie, Royal Observatory, and Mint, as well as being a residence for every English monarch from William I to Henry VIII. The towers housed many accused traitors as they awaited execution, including Sir Walter Raleigh and Anne Boleyn.
So it looks like it's going to be 2 pages for each of these blurbs.
Yeah. That makes sense.
This huge old castle near the Thames River is called the Tower of London. This place is just packed with history. Jennifer and I learn something new each time we visit. When you're
The
done,
river is Thames, by the way.
yeah. When you're done,
That one I know for sure. It's Thames. Anyway.
when you're done investigating here, click on my feet to go back to the map, or click on the Travis to solve the mystery. So this is Mr. Hargreaves. Wow, what a great costume.
This is no costume, young lady. This is my official uniform. Let me introduce myself.
Oh, I see a typo here. And this must be one of
Young
those
lady.
things where when they were doing the 2 different versions of the dialogue, depending on who you're using, they probably forgot
Yeah.
they probably forgot an if then statement in the code somewhere.
Yeah, either that or he has very poor vision. One of the two. Anyway.
My name is Mr. Hargreaves, and I'm the chief warder here at the tower. All of the beefeaters, or yeoman warders here at the tower, are under my command. We're all former officers of Her Majesty's Armed Forces with distinguished service records.
So you're the head beefeater.
You could say that. Anytime you come to visit the tower again, just ask for me and I'll be delighted to give you a tour.
All right. We got 2 more places to check out.
I'm trying to make mental notes on how these different characters sound because with a bunch of characters and they're all doing English accents,
Alright.
it's gonna be hard to differentiate.
And here's our grumpy librarian. The British Museum is so unbelievably cool. It's got room after room of ancient treasures and art. Jennifer and I love the Egyptian room. It's full of mummies. The British Library is just one of the fantastic sections of the museum. The library has jillions of books and documents, and a lot of them are the original copies in the handwriting of the author. When you're ready to leave here, click on my feet. Yeah, we know that part already.
Not a word. My powers of deduction tell me that you are Jake Eagle and Test Game.
Well, how did you know that?
It's on my script. Elementary, my dear sleuths. From your colonial accents and those garish clothes, I deduce you must be Americans. Your inquisitive looks lead me to believe you may be detectives. My newspaper archives from America contain stories of a pair of young investigators newly arrived on our sceptered isle, with those names precisely. With a genius IQ, little escapes my notice. And ahem, your Uncle Basil called to say you might pop by to do some research.
Aha!
If you'd like to find out more about the statue that was stolen from our museum, you'll need to look up information on Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess. I've set aside some books for you over there.
Okay, we'll take a look at the books. The library is a great place to check out all kinds of stuff. Let's see what this book has to say about that T.S. Eliot poem that Inspector Gage told us about. It says that T.S. Eliot was one of the greatest American poets. He mostly wrote serious poetry, but he did publish a book of funny children's poems called Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, which the musical Cats is based on.
Mm-hmm.
The book is full of poems about cats. It looks like McCavity took his name from the poem called McCavity, the Mystery Cat. Here's a copy of it. The first stanza of the poem reads, "McCavity's a mystery cat. He's called the Hidden Paw." When we do this for real on this tutorial mission, I might even sing this part.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm thinking about it. McCavity's a mystery cat. He's called the Hidden Paw, for he's the master criminal who can defy the law. He's the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, McCavity's not there. That sure does describe Inspector Gage's crook, McCavity. One day when you have some time, you should check out the rest of that poem at the library. It'll crack you up. And side note, I am getting flooded with memories, and I do in fact remember who McCavity does turn out to be, but you'll have to wait till like the 17th episode.
Yeah.
You'll meet the character who turns out to be McCavity much earlier.
Oh yeah,
but
that's
not in this case. Not in this case. The character, but that character is a recurring character.
Yeah, the BBC show Sherlock did something similar with Moriarty.
Yeah, but I think it's like the last case in the game when McCavity's finally unmasked. So we got to get through the whole first case book and the whole second case book before we get there. Here at the British Library, we have to do a lot of research for ourselves. Since we're trying to find out information on Bastet, we'll need to figure out which book has that information. Okay, pick the book you think will most likely tell us something about Bastet. It was certainly not the Greek book.
I'd go with Encyclopedia.
Yeah, I would say the Encyclopedia.
World history, maybe.
That's right. To find information on Bastet, we'll need to check the Encyclopedia under B. That would be the volume that has information from A to C. The Encyclopedia has an entry under B for Bastet. The cat goddess Bastet was worshipped by the ancient Egyptian people. She was supposed to bring good fortune and protect from evil. All cats were sacred to her, so priests of Bastet would take great care to feed the cats that frequented her temples. Well, that tells us a little bit about Bastet, but it doesn't seem to help our case much. Didn't that note say something about beef? Let's look under beef too, just in case. Let's see, beef, the meat taken from cattle. Okay, we knew that. But look here, the next entry is beef eater. It says that Beefeater is the nickname of the Yeoman Warders, the people who help guard the Tower of London. That's strange. One of the 4 people who bought the cat statues was from the Tower of London, remember? It says here no one is sure exactly where the nickname Beefeater came from. It might have something to do with the fact that yeoman warders were paid enough to eat well during times when other people may not have been able to afford luxuries like beef. Let's be sure that we head over to the tower and check out those beef eaters. Alright, so we're done in the library, so we're going over to Covent Garden, which is the last of our clue places, and then we should be able to solve this thing. Covent Garden is a great place to go shopping. Jennifer and I always find the coolest souvenirs here. Look, there's Nigel with his friends Gay and Dorothea. Let's ask him about the statue he bought yesterday. When you're done investigating here, yeah, click on the feet. Yeah, we know that part. Gay and Dorothea are gonna come up in the chat, so you'll have to do voices for them too. And they're recurring characters because they're friends with Nigel, so they often appear with him.
Okay.
Hi, Jake. Is this your friend Test? Pleased to meet you. I'm Jake and Jennifer's cousin Nigel. What are you two doing here today?
Actually, Nigel, we're looking for you. We're trying to find out more about that cat statue you bought here yesterday.
However did you know about that? I was going to give it to my mate Gordon as a birthday present. He's just mad about anything Egyptian. When I saw it yesterday, I nearly dropped my fish and chips. I want to make him a little more nasal. When I saw it yesterday, I nearly dropped my fish and chips. It's the perfect thing for old Gordon.
You were eating fish and chips as you shopped?
Of course.
Absolutely, I can't make it past the chippy on the corner without grabbing something to nosh. Makes my mouth water just thinking about it. I just brought yeah. I just brought Gay and Dorothea by to show them all the fab Egyptian goodies this fellow had for sale, but it seems he's closed up shop and gone off. Oh well.
None of the booths at Covent Garden are selling any kind of cat statues or Egyptian souvenirs today. Alright, so that's all we need to know there. No more sparkly diamonds. So we need to go somewhere so that we have access to the Travis. So I guess we'll just go back to the scene of the crime to click on the Travis. So here's the fun part. We have to go through all the notes and pick 5 that point to exactly who has the statue. Alright. Obviously, I'm not going to read all the clues out loud.
Yeah, we don't need to go through all of that, I wouldn't think.
Alright, we do this first part is instruction. Now, when we get to the actual cases in the actual case book, we won't have all the meta how to play stuff at the top. So we will have to look through every clue on those cases, on pretty much every case after this one. Alright, so this first... And this is the part where you and I can just discuss normally as we see clues that look intriguing.
Yeah.
McCavity's
The
note
head eater
said
of
head
beef.
eater of
Yeah.
beef. So I think that's a big clue, don't you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. If it's outright saying he bought it, then we need to
Oh,
go talk
we want to go into solve mode so we can actually click the clue. Great investigating. Now read all the clues and pick 5 clues that best show which buyer has the Egyptian statue. So, we turn from blue to red to show we've gone from review mode into solve mode.
Uh-huh.
Or we got to find the note about head eater of beef.
Is there like page
There's
counter or something? Yeah.
No, there's no page counter. This is relevant, but it's just naming who the 3 people are. I don't think that's one of the 5.
Keep that in reserve, though.
Yeah. The yeoman warders are called beefeaters. They help guard the tower. I think that's a relevant clue.
Yep, I agree.
And also the statement that Miss Maudie is a vegetarian and does not eat meat, that could be relevant. But right now let's focus on the clues that specifically mention the beefeaters.
Yeah.
Mr. Hargreaves is the head of the yeoman warders, so he would be the head beefeater. So. And Nigel was eating fish and chips, which isn't beef. So.
Yeah.
If we click
so
solve again.
go back.
Terrific.
Go back up. Oh, well.
That's the evidence that will get the cat back. Now pick out the person who bought...
time out for a sec. Hold on. I thought it said you had to pick 5. Did you just pick 3?
Oh yeah, you don't have to pick 5 if you can solve it in less than that. But,
Okay, I thought it said you had to.
But
okay,
most cases will require all 5 clues.
Yeah. All right.
It's just that this was a shorter case, which didn't have as much substance. So I'm looking at the time. It took us about 30 minutes to run through this, but a lot of that was just relearning how to play and operate, and you taking some time to come up with voices.
Let's solve it though. Go ahead and do the thing.
All right, so that's the evidence. Now let's pick out the person. Are we in agreement that it's Mr. Hargreaves?
I vote yes. I think I am.
You got it. Great job.
Mr. Beefeater.
McCavity's note said that the real Egyptian statue of Bastet was placed among a bunch of copies at Covent Garden yesterday, and that the head eater of beef brought the genuine one. Inspector Gage discovered that only 3 people bought souvenir copies of the Bastet statue at Covent Garden: Miss Maudie, Mr. Hargreaves, and my cousin Nigel. We found out that Mr. Hargreaves is in charge of all the yeoman warders at the Tower of London. He's the chief warder. Since the yeoman warders at the tower are also called beefeaters, that would make Mr. Hargreaves the head beefeater or the head eater of beef. His cat statue is the priceless Egyptian artifact.
Yay.
Test, you're going to make a terrific member of the Eagle Eye Detective Agency's London branch. And then we get this little scrapbook at the end.
See, I like these old VGA style graphics like that. Those are cool.
Do we want to read the scrapbook clippings?
Uh, maybe if they're all short.
They're all short. It's like the video screens with the places that you were doing.
Yeah. American detectives retrieve Egyptian artifact. A rare and valuable Egyptian artifact stolen from the British Museum this weekend was returned today thanks to the crack investigative work of detectives Test Game and Jake Eagle of America's Eagle Eye Detective Agency. Test figured out that the it's a little bit more. A genuine statue had been hidden amongst a display of copies for sale at Covent Garden and accidentally purchased by Warder Hargreaves from the Tower of London, explained Inspector Gage of Scotland Yard. The crime itself was committed by the mysterious criminal known only as McCavity, stated museum officials. Test figured out that the note left by McCavity referred to the beefeaters of the Tower of London and traced the cat statue back to me, noted Chief Warder Hargreaves. I was glad to return the artifact to the museum and have invited Test and Jake to join myself and the rest of the Beefeaters for the famous ceremony of the keys at the tower tomorrow night.
And then from there we get this
That's
menu
it.
and okay. All right, now this is a little hang up I got to figure out, but I think we're done with the test itself. But I don't know why it's not letting us into scrapbook 1 if we finished the test mystery. So
Hmm.
I'm just going to click on this and see what happens. If there's actually a 50
It
second.
takes you back. Yeah. It just takes you back to that same case. Is there something we didn't do to close it out or something?
No, we did it properly. Let me just. This looks like it's the same case. Let me just be. Yeah, they're sitting at the table.
No, it's the same case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the same case. Let's go back to the map. If I can, or if I can find my way back to the main menu. And we can actually switch between Jake and Jennifer from within this menu, even in the middle of a case. And we can click Start New Case.
Wait, I
All
just
right.
saw solve this case. I just saw solve this
Yeah,
case.
yeah. All right. So it was a little bug, but when I clicked Start New Case, it took us right back to. It took us
Where it's
into
supposed to
Scrapbook
be.
1.
Okay.
So,
Cool. All right.
so we're gonna go to Exit, and I think that actually, yeah, that just kills everything. So,
Yep. Good old C prompt. All
yeah,
right. Cool. I think we got everything figured out. We'll just need to coordinate and figure out when we want to do this.
yeah. I'm gonna reset everything on my screen back to my defaults.